Okay, well, audio should be live, but Will's a fucking degenerate who didn't bother to bring headphones again. So I've got to go see if I can grab a pair from somewhere.
Yeah, I keep taking my earbuds out of my jacket pocket at work.
Keep the damn headphones in your car the way you used to. You didn't have problems with that.
It's not like work gives me good headphones to use while I'm at work.
Just use the shit ones they give you. You want to get good ones, they'll pay for them.
No, if I want me to have good ones, I have to use my office budget to buy myself good ones. And I'd rather not take money away from kids just to give myself good headphones. I mean, most of my kids, I'd argue, haven't done much to deserve getting some of the things that I give them, but I also can't be a complete heartless monster as much as I would love to be. Although, I did used to openly tell students that I'm a cold, heartless monster with no sympathy for others and they need to get that through their thick skull. But, unfortunately, I've sat with too many of them while they've been crying their eyes out over objectively insignificant things for any of them to actually believe me to be heartless at this point. It's a real problem. I need to go back to just being a monster to everyone, but unfortunately my current job description is literally give a fuck about their feelings, the job. I'm doing alright. And despite my complaining, I do actually really adore the kids. I just wish that it wasn't so much constant Miss Willow, Miss Willow, Miss Willow, or as soon as I sit down, Miss Willow, can you come? One of my staff is radioing. Miss Willow, can you come take a student for a walk? No.
She actually hates the students. Let's be clear. Like vehemently with a passion.
Like, could I take the students for a walk? Yes. Is that really what I should be, the best and most effective use of my time right now? No. Will I do it anyway? Yeah. Probably.
Also, no. Make somebody else do it. Delegate.
Yeah, literally, kids. So I don't have children that are biologically mine. I run an after-school program, so I don't have kids of my own, but at the same time, I've had literally hundreds of kids.
A couple pieces of administration. Go do the thing on the Discord. Because otherwise we're gonna have a real rough time with, Engage.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go do the thing myself, aren't I?
Oh, if you want selections, yes.
Well, yeah, because I have to have saline. She's my proxy in that game.
Nobody gets a say unless they do the thing, except for Bio, who are assigning things to on account of Bio refused to actually participate. I told him it was mandatory. He thought otherwise. You really probably shouldn't advance the text when it's not actually on screen. You've done this.
I mean, I can see it.
Yeah, but there's no audio. There we go. You did almost die when Lancer stabbed you at school. Very true, Shiro. Very true.
Let's see.
That's right. Someone saved me then. By the time I came to, there was nobody there. Just a piece of rock lying next to me. I felt that was really important, so I brought it home. Wonder if it's still there.
それは私と契約する前の話でしょう。サヤは私の宝具です。私が限界し、魔力を注がなければ宝具としての能力を発揮しない。シローは私というサーバントと契約しなければ、 その不死身性を得られないのです。
Shiro over here just having casual immortality.
まあ多少は魔力さえ注げば持ち主の命を保護するでしょう。ですがそれも微弱なものです。死にかけた人間を救うには鞘そのものと同化させるしかなかったはずです。
そうか。すまん、セイバー。お前の鞘をこんなことで使っちまって。
何を言うのです。シローは私のマスターなのですから、私のものを使うのは当然ではないですか。
Even if it was your bastard of a father who gave it to you.
See, my brain was going, it's quite natural for you to use what's mine. Like Caliburn.
Also that.
それにシローがそうなのだと知って私は嬉しかった。何も守れなかった私でもあなたの命を救えていたのですから。
Thank God that sheet that I lost like an idiot finally did something useful.
Did she really lose it, or did he just not ever give it back to her?
No, historically she just lost it.
Oh.
Like
oh.
she had it and then she just misplaced it. Never found it. That's why she died in the first place, was because she lost her sheath that would have made her immortal and therefore not able to die. And then the Einsburns dug it up in Cornwall. Her smile is so bright I can't help but look away.
シロー、傷が痛むのですか。
いや、そうじゃない。いいんだ、気にしないでくれ。セイバーは何も悪くない。
I cover my blushing face and fall silent. This is so embarrassing. Not speaking means no pain, but this is really awkward. I'm not sure how much time passed. And just as I start to calm down, Saber speaks quietly.
キリツグは正しかった。彼は私を裏切ってなどいなかったのですね。
And now she's realizing Kiritsugu wasn't actually a douchebag. I mean, he was, but like, not for the reason she thought he was. Her voice is heavy with regret.
セイバ
あの聖杯は私の求めるものではなかった。いいえ、元より聖杯など必要ではなかったのです。キリツグはそれに気がついていたのでしょう。
Sounds more like a confession.
Sorry, I have to Google something really quick because the music for the sentimental themes really does remind me of music that's used in an anime I really love, and I've got to figure out which one came first.
You can't because copyright, so you're gonna have to wait.
I can Google, can't I? That's
Yeah,
all I was
but
gonna
you
do.
can't double check because copyright.
Yeah, well, yeah, but my volume's also off on my phone. It's why we don't have an echo right now.
You could have just had your volume off on like YouTube and not off on Chrome, for instance. Like I've got the volume just muted on YouTube over on my side.
Okay, what year did the anime release?
Definitely after 2004, probably.
Nope, 2002. I told you it's an old anime. Okay. Problem solved.
Saber is making an apology to someone she can't apologize to. Not anymore, because that guy died, and the heroic spirit version of him isn't here. She reflects on herself as a way of saying goodbye to the feeling she held for so long. Even if she doesn't say it in so many words, I understand just by being beside her. Artoria sought the Holy Grail. A lonely king who had no choice but to believe that, without the Grail, she could not avoid ruin. If only she'd wished to redo everything from the moment she drew the sword from the stone.
Saber.
Yep, Willow is now at peace. The anime I really like didn't steal elements of its music from this game. If anything, it goes the other way, and that makes me feel better.
No, you're not at peace, you're in peace.
やり直しなんてできないのだと。私はそれを知りながら
I knew it was going to be
必死に
close
自身を
year
偽り
wise
続けてきたのです。
because I knew that anime was old.
But that ends here.
Although it's supposed to be getting an HD re-release
Our
soon.
long battle can now really...
ありがとう、シロ。あなたのおかげでようやく取るべき道が分かりました。ええ。あの聖杯もこの私もありえてはいけない夢だったのです。
I'm just a dream. I don't need to exist.
Same end, different means of getting there,
Mhm.
you know? But still, she mumbles about wanting to be forgiven. She should never have wished for what she did, and in all that time, she'd never be able to fulfill it. The weakness was only a fleeting dream. How should I feel right now? What she says is beautiful, and also she's agreeing with me finally, so I should probably feel vindicated. Her decision is dignified and proud, just like her. She takes pride in her past now and accepts the end that awaits her. And now, Saber has... She's decided to follow the promise she made until the very end. She doesn't even need to tell me what that means. She'll never waver again. And she's more beautiful than ever. Such gorgeous toes. In the dark of that night, in the moment I met her under the moonlight and admired her appearance, I loved her from the very beginning because I'm a teenage boy and I saw a hot blonde European and went, "Mine!"
A hot blonde European with invisible sword.
Then, regardless of what awaits ahead, there's only one thing to be done.
Saber. 聖杯を壊そう。
I cut away any lingering attachment. I banish my selfishness and say what has to be done. We need to blow up the Grail.
あなたがそう決断すると信じていました。マスター。
Ah, 2 consecutive masters, both asking me to blow up the Grail.
Well, yeah, but at least Shiro doesn't have to burn 2 command spells on it.
Yeah, which is good because he only has 1. Saber nods reassuringly. I can't smile back at her right now, because my smile muscles are broken. I'm trying my best to suppress my feelings for her and convince myself that this is the right thing to do. I'm sure that someday I'll be proud she trusted me with this decision. I stand up. Now that's settled. We just can't rest here forever. We know what must be done, and our enemy is clear. No more detours. Today, we put an end to this battle. The crest that was on that one tombstone was kind of dead center. At a very extreme distance and just based on shape, kind of looked like the Skyrim, like, diamond dragon thingy-madoohickey.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah,
Dead middle of the screen.
it does.
Does that not look kind of like the Skyrim logo?
No, it does. It definitely, absolutely does. Okay, I can skip all that. I just needed to go back and see it.
I managed to make it home, leaning on Saber's shoulder. The wound in my chest hasn't completely healed. Irene, I got stabbed by Gabe Hulk again. How are you? According to Saber, I'll need to lie still for a few hours. I bite my lip. I curse my body for refusing to listen to me, even though I know what I need to do now.
シロ、何か今よからぬことを考えませんでしたか?
No.
いや、別に何も考え
I
ず
was-
Thinly folded shirt.
I was thinking of beautiful toes and folded shirts, and those toes standing on folded shirts.
Yeah, but then the folded shirt won't be as pristine. It'll get toe creases in it.
Yeah, but it'll be his two favorite things in one place: immaculately folded shirts and beautiful toes.
まったく、あまり無茶を言うと怒りますからね。
I may not have a choice but to do something reckless if, I don't know, Kotomine or Gilgamesh come to say hi. I might have to do reckless things in that case. What if they don't give me a choice?
I'd say your Lancer comes back, but at this point, Lancer's super dead.
I mean, what's Lancer gonna do to Gil?
Yeah. At this point, Lancer is super dead.
戦いは傷が完治してからです。最後の戦いになるのですから、お互い万全の体制で臨みましょう。
そうだな。焦るより今は準備を整えないと。
I'm thinking about where Kotomine went. About how to defeat Gilgamesh. There's just so much we need to consider.
Like, where is Ilya?
Like, how do we kill Gil is really the biggest problem right now. For now, though, we need to rest and wait until night. Green, how do we kill Gilgamesh? At that moment, my mind freezes. There's nobody inside. The house feels different. Mingled with the smell of something burning, I can just pick out the strong scent of blood, and there's some drops of it in my beautiful fucking dresser hallway. Who dares stain my dresser hallway floor with blood?
It's not that much, honestly. It's a cup. Like, the kid who cut his finger open on a pencil sharpener on Monday bled more than that. Going from the classroom to the bathroom, and then in the bathroom sink, and then between the bathroom and my eye. Yeah, it was messy. You shouldn't be able to get that much blood out of a cut this big on a middle finger.
No, you'd be surprised. I mean, that little nick there from a couple of years ago bled like a son of a bitch.
So it wasn't my classroom. I was just responsible for the child. 6th grade boy decides he's gonna deconstruct a pencil sharpener. Like one of those cheap dollar store pencil sharpeners. Got the razor blade out. Wanted to use it to, like, whittle his pencil down. But was like, I don't even know if it's really going to be sharp enough for that. It can't be that sharp. Voluntarily cuts his finger open with it.
Well, you know. As you do. But what about the wife? Apparently wife happened in your classroom.
And again, it didn't happen under my supervision. I just had to handle the fallout of it. Because it happened in my program. But ironically, he was with 2 certified teachers, and neither one of them caught what he was doing. Because he fiddles with things all the time. So I'm now practically bubble wrapping this child every day in program.
I run. I ignore my chest wound and do something reckless, which makes Saber sad. I run to shake off the chill running down my back. I run through the corridor, turn a corner, pass through the familiar curtain that divides one room of the house from another because we don't believe in doors in Japan, and the scene that greets me is anything but familiar. Hey, want to know where I almost quit this game?
How dare!
Want to know where I almost quit this game?
Excuse me,
was
sir!
right fucking here. My voice trembles. I don't know what happened. All I know is that Tosaka's looking at me, breathing weakly.
やっと帰ってきた。まったく、もうちょっとで寝ちゃうところだったじゃない。バカ。
Real rude, Gilgamesh, doing that to the daughter of your former master.
No, Gil was busy fighting Lancer. Who left the church before us?
Oh, that dick.
Right?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about the fact that Gil was technically already at the church when Saber left and then was staying behind to fight Lancer.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you!
Right? To his own student, even. What the hell is she saying? Looks like she's really struggling even to speak, but she tries to make conversation like nothing's wrong.
喋るなバカくそとにかく血を止めないとセイバー風呂場からタオルとお湯と洗面器
Saber nods and turns to run to the bathroom.
包帯と血止めだけで済むかバカ医者を呼んでどうにかしないと
Shiro, rather than bandages, what you could try is packing tape. I have it on good authority from Tsukihime, from Arc mostly, that packing tape makes good bandage. It doesn't, and we were very upset with Arc for using packing tape. And then Shiki immediately insisted she give him money so he could go and buy proper bandages. To be fair, she's like an 800-year-old vampire that had been asleep for the last 17 years and didn't really understand medical science. I panic as I pull out the first aid kit.
I'm sorry, but what do you think a basic-ass first aid kit is gonna do to that?
Well, more than standing around looking at it is going to do to it, to be fair.
Call freaking emergency response services! Colossal fucking moron!
Quick, call the priest. He can probably help.
Churches are safe. Actually, no, churches are places of murder.
Yes. There's a reason that anytime the church is mentioned in Type Moon, I immediately distrust everyone associated with the church.
いい。手当ては自分でしたから、医者はいらない。
I don't need a doctor. I'm just bleeding all over your floor and your walls.
それよりもっと大事なことがあるでしょ。
Tosaka's panting, but she looks straight at me.
まさか
I don't know what the hell she's trying to say. I'm confused, but I just nod to listen to what she has to say.
本当に傷はいいのかトサカお前これはい
いの。血止めぐらい自分でできる。それよりごめん。留守を任されてたのに私イリアを守れなかった。
I finally put two and two together. Tosaka wounded, the living room in disarray, and Ilya gone.
やってきたのは琴峰か
She nods. He's the only enemy left, so there wasn't much point in asking. But Saber and I were the only ones who knew Kotomine was our enemy. It must have been a shock for Tosaka. The 7th Master is her teacher and guardian.
謝るないくらお前でも騙し討ちされたらどうしようもないだろうお前なんだかんだ言って琴峰を信頼してた
そうね。正直甘く見てた。自分一人でもなんとかなるってうぬぼれてたみたい。
Yeah, she coughs up blood. Ah, crap. I can't let her keep talking.
話は後にしよう。今は動くな。すぐに手当てをして休ませてやるから。
お願い。けどその前に伝えておかないとダメっぽい。いいシロ。これが最後の助言だからきちんと聞きなさい。
That's ominous. But I just nod. This is serious, especially if she's so insistent on telling me, even as wounded as she is. I couldn't stop her from speaking up now, even if I wanted to.
まず一つ目。琴峰の目的はイリアよ。あの子が今回の聖杯の器だって、あいつは初めから知ってたんでしょうね。
イリアが聖杯。
正確にはあの子の心臓ね。魔術師っていうのは魔術回路を持った人間だけど、イリアは魔術回路を人間にした子なの。サーバントが残り一人になった時、あの子自体が聖杯を下ろす器になると思う。
じゃあイリアは琴峰に
連れて行かれたわ。でも、セイバーがまだ健在なら道は開かない。琴峰だって器になるイリアをどうにかしようなんて考えないはず。
I can only hope so. And Lancer won't be an easy servant to beat. Even if he couldn't defeat Gilgamesh, he might at least have been able to run away. I'll just have to hope he did. This isn't the time to tell Tosaka anyway.
分かった。イリアは俺が助け出すから安心しろ。
そう。じゃあ二つ目。琴峰の居場所だけど、きっと竜道寺だと思う。聖杯の恒例場所としてあそこ以上の場所はないもの。教会はもう引き払ってるだろうし、隠れてるとしたらあの寺だから。
琴峰がいるのは竜道寺だな。
Up at the stupid mountain temple? She doesn't even seem to have the strength to move her head. But she nods anyway.
じゃあ最後。あなたじゃ綺麗にはかなわない。それでも戦う。
Well, if I can't beat Kirei, I'll just have to let Saber fight Kirei while I fight Gilgamesh.
Yeah, that'll go well.
That question. She's not asking as a friend, but as a mage who truly understands the situation. Save point, by the way.
I know.
Not that it matters. There's not a death here. My mind's made up.
I love that comment. Oh, good. I joined at one of my favorite images in all of Faith. That seems mean.
My chances of victory are abysmal. Even so,
戦う。奴には借りが山ほどある。
well, you see, Reen, I'm going to kick logic out and make the impossible possible.
エミやシロが倒すべき敵だからな。
I need to settle things with him. As a survivor of the disaster 10 years ago, as one of the orphans, as the son of Kiritsugu Emiya.
そう。ならこれあげる。ご信用のものだけど何もないより役に立つわ。
Tosaka reaches behind her back and takes out a dagger. Ah yes, the Azoth dagger. This is a well-known dagger, perhaps even famous. It's used for rituals rather than for battle. It's a magical wand in the shape of a sword, used to form circles and to intervene in mystics that have taken shape. The word Azoth is engraved in the jewel on the handle. The blade isn't as long as a typical dagger, which probably fits Tosaka's preferences anyway. This is the Azoth blade, a sword favored by a famous scholar of mystics who took the world by storm some time ago. Is that supposed to be a reference to Aleister Crowley?
I'm not sure.
It's meant for mages to prove that their training is complete. The Azoth blade is not unlike the sort of gift one receives for getting into a college. Hold on. Let me have a quick look. Azoth blade.
Kevin, don't encourage him.
Witchcraft Association.
The only gift you got from college was depression.
Oh, Hohenheim. Yeah, that makes sense.
Did I get any fun, any really cool gifts when I graduated college? I don't think so, really. Huh. Oh, but it said for getting into college. I didn't get any really cool gifts for getting into college either. Mostly just stuffed animals.
And debt.
And debt. Lots of debt.
見ればわかるでしょ。私の探検よ。宝石に比べれば微々たるものだけど、それでも気が向いた時には魔力を込めてた。レストって叫んで、ありったけの魔力を流し込めば発動するから。
She hands me the dagger. It's surprisingly heavy. Not like physically heavy, rather I feel the weight of Tosaka's memories in the dagger.
Tosaka, いいのか、これは預かって。
いいのよ。綺麗に勝てないって分かって最後まで隠し通したんだから。このまま使わないのも尺だし、あんたが使って。
I hid it from him. He's the one that gave it to you in the first place. What makes you think he didn't think you had it?
You might not have thought she had it on her.
わかった。遠慮なくもらっとく。正直、武器は大いに越したことはない。
Maybe I can, like, use it as a base to project something cool. Like a copy of... I don't know.
Caliburn again.
Maybe.
Only ever Caliburn.
This route, kinda, yeah.
もういいかな。
He does get to project more cool stuff in UBW.
いい加減、もう眠くて眠くて。
I think Kevin's feels the one where he just decides he's gonna project Herc's giant-ass rock sword at one point. She laughs, embarrassed. The next thing I know, Saber is standing beside me, waiting to treat Tosaka.
寝ろ寝ろ。朝になったら起こしてやるから。そしたら腹いっぱい飯食わせてやる。
そうする。最後に、これは忠告じゃなくて命令。シロ、やるからには死んでも勝ちなさい。私が起きた時、あんたがくたばってたら許さないから。
I will, however, forgive you if I wake up and find you dead
And
but victorious.
Yep.
I would prefer you alive and victorious, because I can't date you if you're dead. But, like, if you're dead and you lost, I'm gonna be pissed. She looks like she said everything she wants to say. And so Tosaka drifts right off to sleep. Nah, she's fine. She looks well enough, so I feel a little stupid for worrying about her.
Oh my God.
She's covered in blood, but she looks fine. I've had worse.
You have cheat codes.
But then again, I know that's her way of cheering me on, and her words really do invigorate me.
Nothing quite like one of the girls you have a crush on telling you to fuck off to energize you.
Yeah. Hey, go kill the hell out of my master. If you don't, I'm gonna be pissed. Die in the process if you have to, but you kill the fuck out of that guy.
任せとけ、遠坂。
I nod at Tosaka's sleeping form. Everything's all set. All that's left is to spend the next few hours without regret while my wounds heal. Hey, Saber, do you mind cleaning the blood off of the everything while I'm unconscious? Today slowly ticks over into tomorrow. We treat Tosaka's wounds and take her to her room to rest while I make dinner and eat with Saber in silence.
あと少し。
Shiro takes a nap while he literally bleeds out on his porch.
It was in his living room even. It wasn't even his porch. Most of my wounds are healed. We only have about an hour or two left. In the meantime, I'll,
Save the
save
game.
the game. Yeah, you know.
Now can I ignore the fuck out of Saber?
No, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
What?
What?
The second option.
Uh-huh. You know the Japanese thing? They've all got, like, shrines to dead people in the house.
Oh yeah, that's
Right?
fair.
Like, he's just gotta go talk to the Kiritsugu shrine and be like, well, Kiritsugu, I found out that you shoved a scabbard in me, so thanks for that. And I'm gonna kill that guy that you didn't actually
That
kill
you tried to
properly
kill.
last time. I know, like, you shot him in the head, but he just didn't fucking die, so... This might be my last time. 10 years ago, I was the lone survivor of the terrible fire, and if I'm going to succeed Kiritsugu, who destroyed the Holy Grail, I should at least report that to him.
じいさんの夢は俺が
Oh, listen to little Shiro. A young boy said those words so long ago. Back then, I didn't even understand the feelings the man left behind, nor did I understand what I wanted to achieve. After 10 years, the thing I kept striving for, the reason I was the only survivor, is about to reveal itself.
今までありがとう。行ってくるよ、親父。
My fear and hesitation fade. We have no chance of winning. But if I'm gonna call myself Shiro Emiya, I need to go into this with my head held high. The moon hangs high in the sky. The clouds have finally cleared and the black of night is giving way to indigo. It'll be dawn soon. The long night is about to end. And we are at the Ryudo Temple. It'll be the last one. During the night, Saber and I traveled to our final destination. Space animals only, no items.
シロこれは
I hear the tension in Saber's voice. She's not the only one. As I quietly nod, I feel a cold sweat trickling down my neck. The mountain feels like a living thing. Chills run down my spine, stifling pressure assails me with every step I take. The air is thick and damp.
マナの密度が高い。10年前と同じです。
If only it was thick and moist, it would be better.
上ではも
As long as it's not thick and juicy.
I was just about to ask, are we getting back into the damp, moist, juicy debate? Because you want a fruit to be juicy. You don't want a fruit to be moist.
No, you definitely... moist is maybe okay. You don't want a fruit to be damp. Moist, like... I just washed this apple. It's a little bit moist, right? Like, that's
like,
fine. A damp apple, on the other hand, no.
Meanwhile, it's okay if my basement is damp from a little bit of water, but I don't want my basement to be juicy.
Yeah, that would be weird. Likewise, you know, like, I like a nice moist cake, but I don't want a damp cake.
You definitely don't want a juicy cake.
Well, unless your cake's concept is fruit gushers. Like, maybe you made a fruit gushers cake, and so you filled it
Even that
with,
would
like,
be wrong.
Juice.
Even that would be fundamentally wrong. The eternal Stewart family debate of what things are okay to be damp, what are okay to be moist, and what are okay to be juicy when they're all effectively very similar words.
The summoning of the Holy Grail has begun. Maybe it's even over by now. Either way, Gilgamesh has probably defeated Lancer.
Yeah, that much is almost certainly true.
確認するぞ、セイバー。
I mean, yes, Mar, everything Inu cooks is either damned or poisoned, but... Actually, that's not true. He does fine with omelets, and you technically don't cook a sandwich, but he hasn't managed to poison himself with sandwiches yet.
I mean, I cook sandwiches. I bake those motherfuckers.
上に着いたら、あとは戦うだけだ。
Shit, I was supposed to have leftover ham with my dinner tonight. Oh well. Go through tomorrow's breakfast, I guess.
琴峰を撃つ。
You take care of Gilgamesh. You know, that fight that went super well for you last time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you're gonna win, but you take him. And I'll take the guy that Reen told me I had literally no chance in hell against. That seems reasonable, right?
ええ。今回だけは私は自分の戦いに専念します。それに琴峰はあなたが倒すべき敵だ。
そうだな。よし、任せとけ。セイバーの方こそあんな奴にやられるんじゃないぞ。
By my command spell, I order you to win.
I don't think command spells work that way.
誇りにかけて彼には負けるわけにはいかない。
Well, what it would effectively do would be to force her body to keep fighting until it literally couldn't anymore. It would be the magical, like, compulsion for her to keep fighting regardless of how badly injured she is. So, it would make a difference. It wouldn't win her the fight, but it would make a difference.
Or he could just give her the command spell order to live.
I order you to love me!
Nah, take the Lelouch to Suzaku route. Tell him,
no, take the Euphemia to Suzaku route. I order you to love me!
I'm still not over what happened to Yuffie.
I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened to Yuffie. Everything was fine.
Sure, if you stop watching Code Geass halfway through, yeah, everything's fine.
If you stop as soon as Lelouch agrees to her plan to, like, work together to you know, change Britannia and make things good for the 11s, everything's great. As long as you don't watch far enough for Lelouch to go, man, it would have really sucked if I ordered you to kill all the 11s or something. I understand. I will murder all of them. No, wait. Shit! That eye wasn't supposed to be on. Damn you! Curse your son, but inevitable betrayal.
that, Lelouch accidentally ordered his own sister, half-sister, to go do a genocide that got her killed.
No. That he killed her for.
Yeah.
It didn't get her killed. It resulted in him mercy shooting her in the head with a gun.
Still got her killed.
What it actually resulted in was him becoming a murderer of a sibling he didn't intend to murder.
Yeah. The only sibling he actually liked.
No. One of two. Nonnally.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about her.
There's no longer hesitation or worry in her voice.
Fine. Let me rephrase. The only half-sibling he liked.
Correct. I didn't need to say anything else to her. We'll head to battle and determine the final master in this war. But if, in the process, if one of us dies, the survivor just has to kill their opponent. Even if I'm defeated, as long as Saber beats Gil, Kodamine won't get his hands on the Grail.
How do you figure?
Because Saber will still be alive, and Kodamine kind of needs her to be dead in order to accomplish what he's trying to accomplish.
Okay, sure, but the Grail still exists as long as Saber's...
But Kodamine will have no way to acquire it.
Okay.
Like, the Grail, still exists, but he can't get it.
But how can he acquire it if Saber's dead, if Lancer's also dead? There's then no longer a servant.
Correct.
Because...
And that's the point. So the Grail works kind of stupid. So there's kind of two conditions in which the Grail can manifest, right? There's a situation in which the Grail manifests with one servant left, and the servant and the master both get a wish. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All good. The real reason you want the Grail is the same reason we've talked that all mages do anything. A path to the root.
Yeah.
In order to punch the path through to the root, 6 servants aren't enough.
Oh, it needs all
You
7.
need all 7. So in order for the master, a real mage in the war, to do mage things, to obtain their objective, you need to hold a command spell. Because at the end of the war, when you got the Grail in your hands, you have to betray the fuck out of your servant and make them kill themselves to get that last servant in the Grail.
Surely, though, in most cases, that would take more than one command spell with a strong-willed servant.
Depends.
Like, I would assume you'd probably need to burn, like, all 3 of them to actually get a particularly strong-willed servant to off themselves.
Yeah, so for minor miracles and that kind of thing, yeah, you only need the 6. For what Kodamine is trying to accomplish here, he needs all 7. And Gilgamesh doesn't count.
Correct.
Because
he's
Gilgamesh
from the
isn't part of
previous
this war.
Yeah.
So as long as Saber's still alive, Kodamine can't accomplish his goals.
Okay.
At the same time, if Saber's defeated but I defeat Kodamine, Gil can't stay manifested.
Well, debatable.
As long as the children in the basement are still there and feeding him magical energy, he'll be fine. Kind of.
For a while, at least. And honestly, there's a non-zero chance that if he went and found literally any of the other masters from the war that still had command spells left, that some of them might be willing to have a super powerful servant, not at the cost of orphans, but...
The only other one left is Waver. And I'm pretty sure Waver doesn't want to have anything to do with Gil.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, we don't have to cover for each other.
Wait, would it have to be another mage from the Grail War he was
No.
coming into?
So, here's the thing. I don't think Gil actually requires a master. Because he's, like, he's kind of incarnated. What he needs is magical energy in order to be able to spam his bullshit.
Right.
And that's where the children in the basement come in.
Right.
So, you know, the battle is now each of ours alone.
Remember the last time you were here, Saber? And you got your ass handed to you by just a guy?
And so we climb the stone steps. The closer we get to the temple gate, the denser the air gets. It's like soup. The red phosphorescence dances in the wind, and the whole place is too brightly lit for nighttime. It is so badly lit for nighttime. I can't see. The air is heavy with death. It reminds me. I wonder if Issei's okay. Issei lives here. Of that fire 10 years ago. But it's different. Bound up in that red light, I spy something with my little eye that looks like it's going to ooze out over the temple itself. It's out. Past the building.
Ooze is another one of those words. Like, you don't want an oozy basement.
But you do want an Uzi to shoot people with.
No, kinda don't, actually.
Nah, you do. In fact, you want two of them, so you can do the cool dual-wield thing. A glistening blackness like mucus spreads over the vivid red. What kind of mucus have you been seeing that's black, Shiro?
Yeah, that's
a medical condition, buddy.
well, that's what the look I gave the screen was me going, what mucus is black?
Really, really ill mucus. The mud spreads like oil over the clear ground. What exactly is mud, even?
It's impregnated dirt, obviously.
No, it's impregnated smut.
No, that's gumbo.
Right, mud.
来たか。待ちわびたぞ、セイバー。
Gilgamesh stands there, haloed by the vivid red glow. He pays no mind to the blood-red glow or the death-shrouded blackness. The servant armored in gold waits in the middle of the temple grounds for Saber and Saber alone.
頃合いも良い。聖杯もようやく重い腰を上げ、穴が開いたところだ。この呪いこそが聖杯の中。我らサーバントをこの世に留める第三要素。10年前、お前が俺に浴びせたものだ。
Gilgamesh has eyes only for Saber. Saber is similarly focused on him. She steps forward and points her sword at the knight in front of her.
いい気概だ。俺には勝てないと知った上でなおその闘志。宴の終わりを飾るにふさわしい邪魔
So
は
we've
い
got
ら
a
ぬ。
few different end goals going on here.
志
Saber and Shiro want to,
なら早々に消
you
えろ
know, delete the Grail.
奴は祭壇で
Kodamine wants to do unspecified evil with the Grail. And Gilgamesh wants to take the contents of the Grail and dump it on Saber's head.
So that she also can just stick around and then just be with him.
Yes. He just wants to make Saber incarnated so he can have a wife. Like... It's so funny. He's literally just trying to do Shiro. Gilgamesh's goal is literally what Shiro's was yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It's great. Kodamine's waiting. I glance at Saber. She gives a slight nod, her eyes still on Gilgamesh. As I leave, I feel her wishing me luck, Thanks, Saber! I turn around. My opponent is elsewhere. Behind me, as I run, I hear the sound of Saber's deadly battle beginning.
Listen, it's only deadly if she wins. Gilgamesh doesn't plan on killing her, so...
Deep in the grounds, behind Ryudo Temple's main building is a large lake. The Ryudo Temple Lake. It's been untouched for a long time.
Yeah, except for that timeline where you
Got
definitely
yeeted
bled
into
out
it,
in
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Making it seem sacred, like it's inhabited by a dragon god. The lake's clear blue water is so pure and clean without a trace of cloudiness. Green?
Well,
At
in
least-
dark, water can look kind of greenish in the dark.
At least, that was true until yesterday. The lake is far from pure now. Red phosphorescence spreads out before me. It's a sea of dark, murky tar. And... a hollow chasm yawns in midair, the body of a young girl floating near in offering. I've been trying to remain calm all this time, but that sight drives me over the edge. Hi, Ilya! I stop and glare at the enemy. Look at Ilya getting crucified. She's like Jesus.
Sorry, chat, I'm thinking. Which is why Inu smells smoke at the moment. This is not the time to be debating, like, Ilya backstory stuff in my head.
Why not?
Well, because the path I'm on right now, logically, isn't great.
How so?
Well, Kiritsugu got the catalyst for summoning Saber from the Iceburns, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, they hired him for the last war.
So, the Iceburns would have known Kiritsugu fairly well, in theory.
No, he was just a mercenary. They literally just hired him for the job.
Well, I mean, sure, but I find it highly unlikely they weren't keeping tabs on their investment.
He was a pretty well-known mage killer. And after the war, he went completely off-grid. Nobody knew where he went.
My brain's just focused on that term of endearment that she uses for him.
Not uncommon for...
No. But to be fair, this game tends to be... like, you can't blame me for falling down a rabbit hole, because this game does tend to use very deliberate wording. Again, I'm sure it's nothing, but literally it's just my brain overthinking shit again, but...
What I'll tell you is, if you want Ilya backstory, UBW. And also Heavensfield. Literally every route that's not this route. This is not the route where you learned Ilya things. Every other route is the route where you learned Ilya stuff.
よく来たなエミヤシロ最後まで残ったただ一人のマスター
No, there's another surviving master still. And Ilya's right there. There's actually 3 surviving masters, apart from yourself. The ends of his lips curl up in a smile, and he spreads his arms in greeting. Our final battle will be fought here. This will be the summoning altar in this Holy Grail war.
イリアを下ろせ。お前をぶちのめすのはその後だ。
I glare at Kotomine. We're about 10 meters apart. As soon as I take another step, the battle will begin. Once the battle starts, my only option is to rush him and stab him in the chest. But before that, I need to do something about Ilya.
おい、聞こえなかったのか。イリアを下ろせって言ったんだ。いい年して子供をいじめて何が楽しい。
気持ちはわかるが、それはできない相談だな。聖杯は現れたが、その穴は未だ不安定だ。接点である彼女には命をつく限り耐えてもらわねば、私の願いは叶わない。
As long as her life lasts, then Ilya's still alive!
そうか。お前に下ろす気がないってんなら、力ずくで下ろすだけだ。お前の願い、その黒い泥を今すぐに止めてやる。
I don't think his wish is dark mud, Shiro. It's probably something a little more sinister than mildly blackish dirt.
Well, I mean, the last time, he just kind of wished for a distraction so people wouldn't realize he was, you know, not dead. And then an entire park lit on fire.
Well,
お前にはこれが私の望みに見えるわけか。さすがは規律の
I
娘。
can hear the mocking in your voice.
Nonsense.
I'm going, gotta hand it to Kiritsugu. Has done the moron.
よもや2代にわたって思い違いを続けると。
There it is.
聖杯を理解し得ぬ者にわざわざ解いてやる真理はない。その思い違いを抱いたまま、最後のマスターとして責務を果たすがいい。
That's, concerning. That's real concerning. Have you noticed? The background fighting has gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I noticed.
Huh? Charge! I kick off as quickly as I can. There's only about 10 meters between him and me, but I jump to the side, maintaining that distance. Squelch. Rather than acting on my desire to kill him, my instincts kick in to help me avoid death. Yeah, yes. Also, thank God for my sanity. Then it's over. I slip sideways and roll on the ground. I go tumbling across the ground, scrambling to look up. I glance back at where I'd just been running. The ground is on fire. The dark mud spreading over the lake is steaming. It's like a dark carpet. The mud yes, all carpets I know of steam constantly. The mud coils and lunges at me.
As mud is known to do.
As carpet is known to do, snapping like a whip. It leaves a searing welt on the ground. What carpet have you been dealing with, Shiro? Man, this mud is acting just like carpet. Being fucking tentacles, steaming constantly, lighting shit on fire, you know, typical carpet things.
The typical mud thing.
言い忘れていたが、すでにお前は私の射程に入っている。加えてこれは生き物に敏感でな。
Which theoretically means it should be tremendously drawn to you. Don't Don't judge me.
I'm judging you.
That looks cool as hell.
It does. I'm still judging you.
Okay, let's see. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to go back a page.
Ah, the carpet that steams and makes tentacles.
言い忘れていたが、すでにお前は私動き回るのは勝手だが、不用意に動くと死ぬぞ。
Oh no, the carpet! It comes for me!
Why doesn't the carpet want to hurt him?
Who, Katamine?
Yeah.
Well, he said, didn't he?
Well, yeah, that it goes after living things.
Uh-huh.
And
Kiritsugu killed the fuck out of that guy.
yeah, I kind of had a feeling we were dealing with a undeath style situation, but
He got shot in the head by a gun.
yeah, and yet here he is,
Uh-huh.
still walking around.
Because the Grail Mud is fucking bullshit.
I had been thinking that, yes. I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Regardless. Point is, he was definitely shot to death. Like, dude was very deceased. I leap out of the way of the black mud as it strikes at me once again. To hell with darting around blindly. This bastard's intent on killing me.
Well, yeah.
I reposition myself, keeping an eye on the lake. I'm no closer to Kotomine. Still 10 meters out. Looks like he's gonna keep me 10 meters away. That muddy tentacle seems to be able to stretch endlessly, which is why he attacked me with it when I was at my house.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on the I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going, and him having an impossibly long tentacle he can control with his mind.
Uh-huh. Up the butt, out the mouth. Poor Shiro. But the good news is he'll get a real good cleaning of his intestines in the process.
But I mean, this seems like such a waste. I mean, Kotomine could be using these powers to fuel a space train.
Good. Although that was laser dicks, to be fair.
Sure. I feel like there was definitely tentacle hentai in that, too.
Probably. It follows no matter how far I retreat, and it's not the only one. No, it's not the only one.
ほう、やる気か。それは喜ばしい。このまま立ち去るのなら殺しようがなかったが、お前本人が争うのであれば問題はない。何しろこれでも神に仕える身だ。助けを求める者を殺めるわけにもいかなくてな。
Oh shit. The tentacle twists towards me. It looms over the lake, its sickle-shaped head like a dark serpent. I bite my lip. Fuck you, lip.
Purely because I can't risk biting my thumb right now.
I bite my thumb in your general direction, Kotomine. In fact, I bite two thumbs at you. Arr! I mean, the big toes are basically the thumbs of the feet, right? Do you suppose if you got, like, both thumbs and both big toes in your mouth, it would be, like, the most insulting you could potentially be to somebody in Shakespearean times?
Ridiculous mental image.
I mean, so's the idea of somebody just sitting there biting their thumb in your general direction. Like,
Well, I don't think you did it for long. I think it was kind of their equivalent of flipping someone the middle finger for
Yeah, but
like,
the
half a
longer you
second.
do this, the more offensive it is. That's why you like wave it in front of people. You're like, no, 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 no. So, hey, yeah, fuck you, buddy. I'm gonna bite my tongue at you all day. You go to hell. You go to hell and you die. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
A very nice thing to say about our parents. You can't exactly use those insults on me. You're just insulting your own parents when you do.
I've never been clear on why your father smelt of elderberries was like.
Maybe elderberries just don't smell great. I mean, not all fruits smell good. Durian exists.
I'm in about the worst possible situation here.
Like, as a general rule, I like to say I like the smell of citrus. I don't think I'd appreciate a durian-scented perfume. No, that's not an idea.
Christmas. More and more tentacles emerge from the lake. I'm not even sure how much longer I can even survive, to say nothing of getting near Kodomine.
勝機がないのは当然だ。お前の生きた年数と私の生きた年数では大きく開きがある。何かで掛け算でもしない限り埋められる差ではあるまい。
The priest raises his hands.
And more mud carpets appear.
I have a question. I have two questions. I've raised both hands to indicate this.
No, when people have more than one question, instead of just raising their hand, they wave their hand and they jump in and out of their seats to try and get your attention while screaming your name. It doesn't help.
Well, as long as we're not showing solidarity. Because apparently the hand symbol for showing solidarity is just being a Nazi. Is what I've learned from, government officials in recent times.
No, the sign language hand symbol for expressing solidarity is literally this.
No, I disagree. I saw it on TV. It's doing this. Right? Like...
No, that only applies if you happen to own Tesla. That logic.
So anyone that owns a Tesla, that applies.
No, that owns Tesla, the company.
So anyone that owns shares in Tesla, that applies to. Because technically they own Tesla, the company.
I mean, I don't know why anyone would want to own that stock right now. It's been doing pretty badly lately.
Right, that's why you buy it now. Is so that when it rebounds, you make a fuck ton of money. Because it'll rebound eventually. Everything does. He stares at the heavens like a conductor leading an orchestra.
I don't remember our conductor just staring at the sky.
Share your energy with me! He's just building a spirit bomb. Oh fuck, run for it.
あるいはこの身に届くかもしれん。
Have you tried rushing me like a reckless dumbass? The serpents surge forward.
So now they're snakes instead of tentacles or rugs?
Yeah, now they're snakes. I try to kick away the mud clinging to my ankle.
Again! God damn it, game! Could you pick a descriptor for this, please? Like, even if you decide for whatever reason that descriptor is juicy, can we just pick a descriptor? No. This isn't the end of Korean Zombie Death Cards. Put your hand down.
Just vibing to the music. My clothes are burnt, and my skin is exposed. I jump away from the lunging tentacle. I can't feel my mud-coated right ankle, and wasn't entirely sure I even still had my right leg until I used it to leap away. That's me after like standing up from a chair sometimes. You know, stand up, you're like, I can't feel my leg at all. Is it still there? Well, I haven't fallen over, so I guess it's still there. I check my body while I roll.
Buddy, you there?
Hello? Body, you still present? Ankle? Okay, yep, still there. Just can't feel it. It's more or less intact. I could still probably run. I jump in another direction to avoid the mud's relentless attacks. Beside me, I hear a splash. The scent of burning earth wakes my dizzy head, and I push myself back up to my feet. A burning sensation sears its way down my back. I shake it off and jump to the closest clear ground. The mud's pursuit relents. I can no longer see any of the black mud that surrounded me. Oh, thank God, I must be safe. I bite my lip. I dodged and ran all over the place, but in the end, it didn't even matter. I'm right back here. I calm my breathing and look up at him to at least show he hasn't broken my spirit. Kodamine has not moved at all. He's just watched me running around. Getting chased by carpets.
But, so here's the thing. Watching people run around, like crazy people, is really exhausting. Again, lessons from Willow in the world of after-school childcare. There's nothing that exhausts you more than watching a gym full of kids running around.
Sure there is. Being a kid in the gym full of kids running around.
I disagree. They have infinite energy. If I could bottle the energy that the students in my school have and use it myself, I could take over the world. Kids have so much energy that they don't know how to use for anything productive.
No matter how many deep breaths I take, my heart won't stop pounding. It's warning me that it's at its limit. It needs rest. My heart is ready to burst if I don't rest. That's how rapidly it's thumping in my chest. It's all but jumping out of my mouth at this point.
It's not how anatomy works.
Maybe it is when you have a, scabbard fused into your body.
I mean, sure, maybe, but...
I can't do anything! I can't get near Kodamine, and I can't stop that black mud. There's not enough time for me to hold back about using projection. It's my only hope! If there's no way forward, I just have to project Saber's sword again! It should be able to cut through that black mud and give me a chance to rush Kodamine.
なんだそれで終わりか諦めたのならそうと言え
The moment he speaks... A tidal wave of mud crashes over me. I look up just in time to doge.
Nah, there's one too many letters for that.
No, I think there's an appropriate amount of letters for that.
No. As we all know, Doge is spelled D-O-G-E.
D-O-D-G.
Nope.
Doge.
Then please enlighten me. What does the second D in the government acronym stand for?
It's redundant. It's Department of Department. The Department of Departmental Government Efficiency.
I mean, I've been saying Ilya's the Growl for weeks, so...
Yeah, but you're still not entirely correct. The mud itself isn't bad.
I mean, they did say that essentially her heart is basically the Grail, but
No, see, like, she herself technically isn't the Grail. It's just she will become the vessel for the Grail. Like, the Grail doesn't become the Grail until it's filled with all the contents. So she's basically just an empty cup that they keep putting servant souls into when they die. And then when they have all of them, bam, Grail. It's slow compared to Saber's strikes when we sparred, and it doesn't change direction, so it's easy to dodge.
I assume Grail mud tastes terrible, by the way.
Nah, well, it's black, so it's probably like black licorice flavored.
Yeah.
But that only applies when there's just one tentacle. Damn Saber for not trading me with 2 swords! I can't handle multiple attacks at once, or those that strike from behind as soon as I've dodged another. As a result, I can only move around, and still mud slowly covers me. There's no time to rest! I'm not going to be able to use my projection. Projection requires me to form an image of a weapon from the very beginning, so I need at least a full minute of concentration. Kotomine, time out! I called for time out, you have to stop. But if I give Kotomine an opening like that, the only thing left of me will be smoking wounds. Just ask for time out, Shiro. He has to abide by the rules. Everywhere the mud touches me, I go numb. At least it's not painful, but if that mud covers my entire body, I might not even know whether I'm dead or alive.
You are the most self-aware, dying person ever you'd know.
If that happens, I'm a goner. I'd melt away, wounds and all. I can only run. If I'm gonna have any chance of getting near him, I have to do something about this mud. Oh, uh-oh. I can't believe it. I picked now of all times to trip? Damn you, Smash Brothers Brawl! Damn your bullshit tripping mechanic!
That's all that Tosaka bloody had on him earlier. It gave him her curse for a little bit.
Kotomine stares down at me as if I were a piece of trash. He points a finger at me, and several snakeheads rear up from the lake. Ha! Look at the stupid child that fell down. Get him, boys!
Kotomine! It's after school rules with Miss Willow time. There are rules to people falling and hurting themselves. You have to ask if they're okay first, and if the answer is yes, then you can point and laugh. But you don't get to point and laugh if they're actually seriously hurt.
Unless you're fucking evil. Get up. I try to get up, but fall again. I fall. I fall. The snakes pursue me. I fall. And then I fall. Why? 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 Black mud splashes over the back of my neck. Why?
That is really hard to see.
No, the WH is fine.
Yeah, but the Y and the question mark are pretty much invisible.
What? Now that I look closer. My right leg is entirely black. I didn't realize I'd done a reverse Michael Jackson on my leg. Black mud rains down on me. Like a torrential downpour, it engulfs my entire body, and all I can do is await the oncoming tide of despair.
Black text and a black background. The author is evil for this.
That's not even the author, that's the localizers. And then we died. So it turns out talking to Kiritsugu was a fast track to die. Anyway, let's see what Taiga has to say. This is going to be an interesting one because there is 4 different ways to get to the same dead end.
I'm sure, right, that every other option in that choice that's not go hang out with Saber also leads to death.
You want to know the answer?
Mm-hmm.
Spending time with Saber also leads directly to death. Strategy meeting is the only way to not die. And then in that strategy meeting, you have another 3-way choice, 2 of which lead to death.
Fun.
They're all the same death.
そんなあなたを助けるタイガー道場開幕です。さて、勝敗とは戦いを始める前に決定しているっていうのが一般論よね。はい、その心は弟子1号。
何の策も武器もなしに戦いに挑んじゃダメってことかな。
Well, we did have a weapon. We had a
敵は
knife.
金に明かして最強部隊を揃えている反則サーバントなら、こっちも一つぐらいは逆転可能な武器を用意しておくべきです。
Right, we had a knife. Look out, I've got a knife. Like the most powerful thing at the beginning of Charmed is a knife.
That is very
じゃあ
true.
は決戦前夜からやり直してなんか新しい武装を用意しろ。
But I have a knife!
そんな一朝一夕で何ができるっていうのよ。
これができるのだ。セイバーちゃんの宝具はもともと3つ。その最後の1つを用意してあげれば、あとはなんとかなるってもんよ。
そっか、返せばいいんだね。
カエサルのものはカエサルへ。なくすには惜しいものだったけど、やっぱり拾い物は持ち主に返さないとね。
ほら、絵画にしてはいいこと言うのね。腐っても学校の先生ってところかしら。
あはははは。褒めて褒めて。
褒めて褒めて。
はいはい。それじゃあ、タイガがいい気分なうちに本編の端っこでつつましく続いていたこのコーナーだけど、なんと次回からは装いも新たにタイガー道場第2部タイガ不在1億円編が始まるよ。次は舞台を私の後ろに移して立ち絵も音楽も発売ハードも一新。制作費も倍になっておまけコーナーとは思えない充実ぶりになるんだから。
なんか重ねてめでたいな。よくわからないけど、ウォーズからメタルスに CG が変わるようなものかしらね。
そうっす師匠。次からはこんないかにもやっつけ仕事な立ち絵から解放されるのです。
素晴らしい。そうと決まればさっさとこんな道場ともおさらばしましょう。
じゃあみんな心機一転したタイガー道場で待ってるよ。
See you next route. Alright, back to the recent decision point. So anyway, yes, spending time with Saber leads you to a final training session and then you just die in the same way. Oh, that's right. There's only one thing to do. We've always done it this way. So we should do the same, right to the end. It's not romantic, and it's not elegant, but sitting across from each other and coming up with a plan of action suits me and Saber best. To the shed!
シロ、対策を練るのはいいのですが、何もここでなくとも良いのではないですか。
I do all my best thinking in the shed, Saber.
I thought it was time I bring you to my actual bedroom.
Yeah, right?
いや、ここじゃないと調子が出ない。いいから中に入ろう。
はあ。シローがそういうのでしたら従いますが。
You don't have to obey. He didn't exactly use the command spell.
By my command spell, I order you into the shed.
Go into the shed.
Get in the shed! Go! But Denji and Power do get to be smart. Right? It's great. Okay. Now. There's a reason I had Saber go inside the shed.
So I could lock the door and make her stay in there so she doesn't fight.
Yay! Right now, we have neither a plan nor the means to defeat Gilgamesh. So it goes without saying that we need something extra, like a metal pipe. And so, do we A, look for a weapon, B, make Saber stronger somehow, or C, give up our magical immortality MacGuffin?
So, Taiga made it abundantly clear that the correct answer is return the sheath to Saber. However, I'm not going to click that right away. Because I want to see what strengthened Saber actually leads them to do. Once we get back to the temple and it's just everything I've already seen, I'll reset, but...
I'm going to strengthen Saber, right here, where I summoned her. Me, a completely competent mage. I can do this. I'm not sure I can do that, but it's worth trying.
"私に強化をかけるですか?"
I can hear the "are you a dumbass?" in her tone.
Shiro, I'm not a metal pipe.
なあ、人間、しかも自分以外の人体に魔力を通すのがどれほど難しいかは知っている。けど、今はこれしか思いつかない。俺にできることはセイバーを強くすることだけだから。
That's right. Even if I try making a new weapon with projection, I won't be able to make anything stronger than Excalibur. With Gil's noble phantasm overwhelming the sacred sword, there's no point in giving Saber a new weapon. So there's no other option but to make Saber herself stronger.
成功率は低いし、セイバーには不快な思いをさせると思う。それでも頼む。強化なんてセイバーを物みたいに扱うことを今だけは許してくれ。
Now, drop and give me 5,000.
私は不快な思いなどしません。シローがそう言ってくれるのなら、喜んでこの身を差し出しましょう。
Gotta say, hang on, sorry, wrong hand. This isn't a particularly becoming gesture. Just saying. Like, do I sometimes unironically do that if somebody surprises me, where I'll be like, oh geez, but like, no, that's not how that's not the physical stance I'd take saying that personally.
I will gladly offer myself to you. Saber takes my hand and agrees to my plan.
マスターを信頼しています。私の耐魔力を一時的に弱めますから、その間にシローの魔術を流してください。
Saber entrusts her body to me while she holds my hand.
少しだけ我慢してくれ、セイバー。
I concentrate and read Saber's body, her blueprint.
I finally learn where the clitoris
I
is.
then project a saber. Now I have 2 of them. I have less than 10% chance of success. I cast off my indecisiveness and activate the strengthening magecraft with unprecedented clarity. The magecraft spell ends. I used almost all of my remaining magical energy to strengthen Saber.
どうかな、セイバ なんかちゃんと魔力は通ったから強くなってるとは思うんだが。
シローにも成否はわからないのですか？その外見的に鋭さが増したとか破壊力が向上したとか伝わっていませんか？
いや、よくわからない。
Well, the problem is Shiro doesn't have a grail, so it would be very difficult for him to grail her. And he definitely didn't summon a second copy, so yeah, she's still NP1.
結局試してみるまではわからないから。魔力が通ったところで、あとは強化したもので。
But he did do her strengthening quest, so that's good.
ああ、なるほど。強化された木刀が強くなったぞと宣言することはありませんし、外見も変わらないのですよね。
That would be pretty cool, though. If you just strengthened the wooden sword, it was like, I am stronger!
私も実感が持てないというか。
It like sprouted two like little buff
Shojiki.
arms with like a new crossguard. It was like,
Isn't
da-da-da-da-da-da, stronger sword!
そうか。無駄な時間を取らせたのかな、俺。
いいえ、決して無駄ではありません。シローの魔術は正しく作用しました。体は強くならずとも、今は心が温かい。この熱がある限り、私は決して倒れません。シローは私を強くしてくれました。
Congratulations, you accomplished fuck all, but I feel really good. Saber has accepted my magecraft, and she's the one who made me stronger. Her words banish my fear and hesitation. Saber isn't the only one feeling a warmth in her heart. As long as I hold on to this feeling, I won't be afraid to fight. And scene. So don't skip. And then hit the left, yeah, and just go down to load. And one down. Alright! Let's hand over our magical immortality MacGuffin.
Our bullshit immortality powers.
I should return the sheath to its rightful owner, now that it's done healing me from my unhealable stab wound. I don't know if it'll work, but I have to try. But Saber did manage to put her hand into my body to check whether the sheath was there. So it's probably not impossible to take out.
Mm. それは本気ですか、シロ？
本気だよ。もともとあれはセイバーのものだろ。ならセイバーに返すのは当然だし、この鞘があればあいつにだって勝てるかもしれない。
Yeah, I mean, if you're literally unkillable, like, what's he gonna do?
確かに、鞘が戻れば私の魔力も上がります。で
Right.
すが、それでもギルガメッシュに勝てる保証はありません。それに、鞘を摘出してしまったら、
Try
シロがどう
really
するの
hard
で
to
す。
not die.
鞘を取ってしまえば、もう。
I'll no longer heal so rapidly from whatever injury I might sustain. Odds of that are literally zero, because Shiro has no talent as a mage. He only got Artoria because of Catalyst. But that's normal. I've relied on this regeneration too much. Nobody should be immortal. I shouldn't keep it anymore.
鞘を取ってくれ、セイバー。これは俺たちが勝つための絶対の条件だ。
Saber bites her lip, not answering. Not sure how long this moment stretches out between us. The clouds in the sky drift by as the moonlight starts to shine through the window.
わかりました、マスター。あなたの心をお借りします。
Saber nods, her hesitation gone.
それでは始めます。準備はいいですか、シロ。
いいぞ。遠慮なく始めてくれ。
Saber begins. Her hand presses against my chest. And sinks in. Her job here is simple.
No, my job here is simple.
That too. The process of extracting the sheath is similar to projection. The sacred sword sheath has integrated itself throughout my body. I just have to collect all the dispersed bits of it and reform them into the sheath. This is all just my impression of what's going on, though. I may say I'm reforming it into the sheath, but it's just gathering the waves of magical energy. Saber's the one who'll give it shape. She, the original owner, forms the shapeless bundle of magical energy into the sheath itself. I'm just helping. It's like making something from nothing. The scattered pieces of the sacred sword sheath are reproduced with precision and painstaking care, without a single error. My body grows hot. Projection is way beyond my means. Tell that to UBW, Shiro. It eats away at my body every time I use it. Tell that to UBW, Shiro. It destroys my nerves, burns my skin, and even has the power to cripple my brain. But that's the only weapon I have, and it could be the one thing that might help Saber. I imagine. I think back to when I saw her in my dreams. The golden sheath. That's not the right sheath. Fit for the King of Knights to carry into the battle. That's the wrong sword! That's Caliburn, you dumbass. The legendary sheath that protected its owner and led her to so many victories. I reproduce it vividly, without deviation, and as beautiful as it ever was.
See, I like to imagine he does successfully project Excalibur's sheath, but he reassembles the pieces to fit Caliburn instead, so she can't actually put the sword back in it. Like, she still gets all the benefits of having the sheath, because she has all the pieces. She just can't use it as an actual sheath to her actual sword. Because Shiro's a dumbass.
And, no matter the end awaiting us, I won't ever forget this. I will engrave the image in my mind. I hear Saber's voice. I feel something that was within me for the longest time escape from my body.
So, Keglux or something?
Hand job!
すごい。見事です、シロ。ここまで完璧に戻せるなんて、他の誰にもできません。
I've been holding these in for 15 years.
No chats, like, was it a fart?
So much better. By the way, did you get the sheath? It must have come out great. As Saber is so elated, it surprises me. My body is still so searing hot that I just topple face first into the ground.
What?
Catch me, floor!
Ah, the sweet feeling of the floor of the shed.
On my face.
Night Saber!
See you in the morning.
あ、シロ、すごい汗です。今拭くものを持ってきます。
Saber hurries back toward the house. As I listen to her footsteps, I take a deep breath.
And enjoy the feeling of the floor of the shed.
I think that turned out great. It was perfect. I don't think anything else I project will ever turn out so perfect. Tell that to UBW.
じゃあな。今までありがとう。
Bye, Sheath. Thanks for keeping me alive through 14 deaths. I bid farewell to the thing that had been a part of me for so long. The golden sheath that protected her. I will never, ever forget it. Though it's left my body, its form has been forever engraved into my heart.
As the wrong sheath.
Oh, we've gone to vertical. The moon hangs high in the sky.
He's just taking an image with his phone. I know it's 2004, and those aren't exactly things.
Phones were a thing in 2004.
Yeah, but not people recording on smartphones the way we all do now.
The Moto Razr was a thing in 2004.
And
that had a camera on it.
I know. I'm still sad I never had a Razor.
You can go get one. It's not hard.
I genuinely thought about it when I was upgrading.
No, I mean, you can go get an original one. They're not that expensive on eBay. Just go buy one. The clouds have finally cleared and the black of night is giving way to indigo. It will be dawn soon. The long night is about to end. It will be the last one.
Ever.
Ever. Night will never come again. During the night, Saber and I traveled to our final destination. Space animals only, no items.
I like the notion that, like, when he's talking about it being the last night, that's because he's decided that instead of destroying the Grail, he's just gonna wish that there was no night. Only
It's the
sunlight.
final night down.
Shiro, これは
I hear the tension in Saber's words.
Voice.
That too. She's not the only one. As I quietly nod, I feel a cold sweat trickling down my neck. The mountain feels like a living thing. Chills run down my spine. Stifling pressure assails me with every step. The air is thick and moist, juicy.
Nice, thick and juicy air.
Juicy air.
マナの密度が高い。10年前と同じです。おそらく上ではもう。
Either way, Gilgamesh has probably defeated Lancer.
確認するぞ、セイバー。上に着いたら、あとは戦うだけだ。セイバーはギルガメッシュの相手を頼む。
You take care of you take care of Gil and then come save my ass.
相手を倒せば、それで終わりだ。
ええ、今回だけは私は自分の戦いに専念します。それに。
そうだな。
Well, I couldn't do it last time with the sheet, so I don't know what hope
セイバ
we
ー
have
の方
this
こ
time.
そあんな奴にやられるんじゃないぞ。
はい。誇りにかけて彼には負けるわけにはいかない。サーバントとしてではなく、英霊としてかの王に膝を屈することはできません。
There's no longer hesitation or worry in her voice.
Her eyes are up there, Shiro.
I've just noticed she has a beautiful navel. I don't need to say anything else to her.
I do love the mini corset under her breastplate.
We will head to battle and determine the final master in this war. But if in the process, if one of us dies, the survivor decides to kill their opponent. Kill him dead. Even if I'm defeated, as long as Saber defeats Gil, Kotomine won't get his hands on the Grail. At the same time, if Saber's defeated but I defeat Kotomine, Gil can't stay manifested, which is arguable. I mean, you don't know that, to be fair, but... So we don't have to cover for each other. This battle is now each of ours alone.
Until I lose and Saber has to save my ass.
And so we climb the stone steps.
One by one, slowly.
The closer we get to the temple gate, the denser the air gets. And the juicier. Sweat trickles down my back. As ominous premonition creeps over me, at the top of this stone staircase, our greatest enemy awaits us. Just a guy. But then! I don't really care about that. We go up the stairs. Closer and closer to the temple gate. Everything will be over. No matter who wins this battle, Saber is going to disappear. The endless but fleeting days of fighting will finally be over, and Saber will disappear from the world. She'll return to her time where she belongs, and I can't say I don't have any regrets. I'm gonna lose Saber. I'm gonna lose the person I vowed to protect, the person I most want to be happy. Even now, I don't know just how painful that's gonna be. At least Rin will be here to, rebound. For now, we're still walking together, and I can feel her presence. I'm not prepared to lose her. Even if I knew a few days before. Even if, from the moment we met, I knew we'd eventually part ways. You did. She told you up front. Thinking back, we made so many memories. We walked together some nights, fought together some nights. At first, I did everything I could to prevent Saber, a girl, from fighting.
Ah!
She also kicked my ass in the dojo. I also slept in the shed because I was too embarrassed to sleep in a room next to hers. We ate lunch. Saber liked baths. She liked my cooking, liked the clothes Tosaka brought her, and she had incoherent conversations with Fujine. She pushed herself, shouldered all the burden herself, and finally collapsed, and then we explored the depths of our hearts in the ruins. Things took a turn after that. I couldn't stop thinking about Saber. My purpose for fighting changed, and I realized that I loved immaculately folded shirts. And toes. And also Saber. How could I lose someone like that? Saber doesn't say anything. I can't think of anything to say either.
How about you don't love her, you love an idealistic version of her, that you don't fall head over heels in love with someone in less than 2 weeks? That doesn't happen in real life.
Yeah, tell that to Shakespeare.
That is my eternal problem with Romeo and Juliet, yes. I mean, aside from the fact that they're teenagers, and stupid teenagers fall in and out of love all the goddamn time.
And the magical tree.
Well, but see, here's the thing, and it's part of why I like Romeo x Juliet so much. It's more than 2 weeks!
Yeah, the magic tree is there. It's true. Magic tree was there the whole time.
You still maintain that Romeo and Juliet was a comedy?
Well, it was written as one.
Shakespeare's comedies are actually really fun, though. Like, you can't call Romeo and Juliet a comedy when you pair it with / against something like Much Ado About Nothing, which is funny social commentary and just really witty writing.
Once we've climbed the stairs and reached the top, there will be nothing for us to talk about. A little while later, I'll lose Saber and have to say goodbye. But, bright side, this is the only time we have to say goodbye. Wait, that's not a bright side. We climb the stairs. The stairs are climbed by us. I want to avoid saying goodbye. I just have to chatter about insignificant stuff like before. For example, let's go to town when we go home. What should we eat for breakfast tomorrow? Insignificant stuff. Do you think Reen will be okay in the morning?
Or we should have loaned Reen the magical sheath for long enough for her to not be dead. Then she could have come with
We
us.
maybe have handed Reen the magical sheath for like 10 minutes and then brought her with us as backup. I can't even seem to do that, though. Because whatever I say, those could end up being our last words. A clear end. Neither Saber nor I could say a clear goodbye. And now we're at the temple gate. This is my last chance. If we proceed, it'll all be over. But if we go back, maybe we can think of something that would stop me from losing her.
Saber.
I stop and turn to Saber. She's the same as ever. Her face is composed, but her eyes seem tense, like she's trying to hold something in. The moment I see those eyes, I'm assailed by temptation on all sides. Temptation to run away. Temptation to turn back so I don't lose her. Temptation to tell her what I really want, assuring me she'll accept. My resolve wavers. The temptations are begging, itching to be voiced. I bite my tongue.
行こう。これが最後の戦いだ。
I tell her, just like usual, as her master. Saber nods silently. I see the strength in her eyes, full of resolve as they always are. I won't make any requests. The same way she believes in me, I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to believe I made the right choice. I'm going to believe in the Saber that believes in me. I cross the threshold of the temple gate. There's no turning back now. I can't say anything. Not that I could say what I really wanted anyway. But I want to at least believe that this frustrated silence managed to convey my feelings. We've finished climbing the long stone stairs. This is our final memory of our time together here on this earth. Walking up a flight of stairs. The summit is bathed in a crimson glow. Wind whips at my face, seeming to come from that red light somewhere at the rear of the temple grounds. The air is heavy with death. It reminds me of that fire 10 years ago. But it's different. Bound up in the red light, I spy something that looks like it's going to ooze out over the temple itself. It's out, past the building. A glistening blackness like mucus spreads over the vivid red. The mud spreads like oil over the clear ground. It oozes over the ground, contaminating it, killing everything it touches.
And I can't help but think, this bodes well for me.
It's like a visible curse. Even a mage like me, still in training as I am, understands that stuff only acts on the human psyche and will only swallow human bodies.
来たか。待ちわびたぞ、セイバ
Gilgamesh stands there, haloed by the vivid red glow. He pays no mind to the blood-red glow or the death-shrouded blackness. The servant, armored in gold, waits in the middle of the temple grounds for Saber, and Saber alone.
頃合いも良い。聖杯もようやく重い腰を上げ、穴が開いたところだ。この呪いこそが聖杯の中。我らサーバント10年前、お前が俺に浴びせたものだ。
Gilgamesh has eyes only for Saber. Saber is similarly focused on him. She steps forward and points her sword at the knight in front of her.
ギルガメッシュ、あなたの目的は何だ？あの呪い、聖杯と偽っていたものを使って何を望む？
望みなどないと言っただろう。琴峰が聖杯をどう扱おうと俺は知らん。
I just want to dip you in the grail goop first.
今のところ俺の関心はお前だけだ。
As if to answer, the Golden Knight raises one arm. At the same time, a shimmering haze forms behind him. A king's treasure. Hundreds of noble phantasms are readied in that haze, like bullets loaded into a gun.
ああ、ようやくこの時が来たか。今までずーっと考えていたぞ、セイバー。嫌がるお前をどう踏み伏せ、あれを飲ませるか。泣きむせぶ顔を踏みつけ、その体を染め抜くほどの泥を飲ませ、もだえ死ぬに耐えきれず俺の足元にすがりつく。その汚れ切った姿をな。
よく言っ
An interesting
た。
mentality.
ならば、その身が同じ末路をたどろうと異論はないな、英雄王。
She takes another step. Saber walks right into range of all of those noble phantasms. This isn't a battle I can help with. No ordinary human could step into this battle between Saber and Gilgamesh.
それでこそセイバー。俺には勝てないと知った上でなおその気概。宴の終わりを飾るにふさわしいな。邪魔はいらぬ。そこの雑種、琴峰に用があるのなら早々に消えろ。奴は祭壇で貴様を待っている。
Gotomine's waiting? I glance at Saber. She gives a silent nod, her eyes still on Gilgamesh. As I leave, I feel her wishing me luck. Thanks, Saber! I turn around. My opponent is elsewhere. Behind me. As I run, I hear the sound of Saber's deadly battle beginning. Deep in the grounds, behind Ryudo Temple's main building, is a large lake. It's been untouched for a long time, making it seem sacred, like it's inhabited by a dragon god. Lake's clear blue water is so pure and clean, with not a trace of cloudiness. At least, that was true until yesterday. The lake is far from pure now. Red phosphorescence spreads out. It's a sea of dark, murky tar, and... levitating lolly child! In perpetual fucking Nanoha transformation mode. A hollow... Kotomine. I've been trying to remain calm all this time, but that sight drives me over the edge. I stop and glare at the enemy.
よく来たな、エミヤシロ。最後まで残ったただ一人のマスターよ。
Our final battle will be fought here. This will be the summoning altar of this Holy Grail War. Oh no, the carpet!
エリアを下ろせ。お前 をぶちのめすのはその後だ。
So much like mud.
Be careful of the carpet, Chiro. We're about 10 meters apart. As soon as I take another step, the battle will begin. I don't know what kind of mage Kotomine is, but he likely uses projectile weapons like Tosaka. On the other hand, my only option is to get close and punch him in the face. Even with Tosaka's dagger concealed behind me, I still need to get close. Once the battle starts, my only option is to rush him and stab him in the chest. Before that, I need to do something about Ilya.
おい、聞こえなかったのか。
Put the lolly
いや
down.
下ろせって言ったんだ。いい年して子供をいじめて何が楽しい。
気持ちはわかるが、それはできない相談だな。聖杯は現れたが、その穴は未だ不安定だ。接点である彼女には命の続く限り耐えてもらわねば、私の願いは叶わない。
As long as her life lasts. Then she's not dead, yay!
そうか。お前に下ろす気がないってんなら力ずくで下ろすだけだ。お前の願い、その黒い泥を今すぐに止めてやる。
ほう、なるほど。お前にはこれが私の望みに見えるわけか。さすがは規律の
Boy, you can
息子だ
practically。sense the sarcasm.
よもや2代にわたって思い違いを続けると、この泥は私の手によるも、これは聖杯より溢れる力、本来は万能であるはずの無色の
Actually,
力だ。
he's being less condescending this time even. He's explaining what the fuck is going on.
それを黒く染めるなど人の力ではできん。この聖杯はな、初めからこうなのだ。開けてしまえば最後、際限なく溢れ出し最悪を巻き起こす。それがこの聖杯の正体だ。この中にはあらゆる悪性、人の世を分け隔てなく呪うものが詰まっている。
Turns out the Grail is filled with literally all the evils of the world.
Wasn't that supposed to be Pandora's box?
And also the Holy Grail.
それを操ることなど誰にもできん。
What is he talking about? If that's true, he didn't become a master because he had a wish to fulfill, but instead just so he could open this thing?
Is Pandora a servant?
Not yet.
ことにね。お前の望みは何だ。
I grind my teeth and glare at him. He smiles wider.
そうだな。強いて言うならば娯楽だよ。
It's such a simple answer.
だって。
わからないのか。例えば音楽だ。歌を楽しいと思うのはなぜだと思う。エミヤシロ。
なんだってそんな。
では本はどうだ。物語が人を引きつけるのはなぜだと思う。
Why? I've never thought about that sort of thing before. And why do you think it is the
考え
bird's
るま
fly?
でもない。あらゆる娯楽、人間を喜ばせるもの、それらが楽しいのは単に人
Don't
間
go
が作
being
ったものだ
Artorias
から。
on me right now.
良いか。あらゆる創造物は人間の内より生じるもの。つまるところ、この世で最も愉快なものとは人間に他ならない。むき出し、それに比べれば彼らが生み出す娯楽など二次的なものだ。
I'm That's an interesting way of spelling Harry Potter. Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Harry, put your name in the Goblet of Fire! Dumbledore asked calmly. Michael Gambon was... I don't know who the fuck directed him in that scene or why they chose angry as calm, but...
I was about to say, he did so well as Dumbledore in general that must have been how he was told to read the
Yeah,
book.
I mean, I'm sure it was. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know who directed that, but why? Harry, you put your name in the Goblet of Fire! Dumbledore asked calmly.
Well, 100% getting in young Harry Potter's face.
And pitting him against a wall or whatever? Yeah. Harry, did you put your name into the Goblet of Fire?
Wouldn't have been as
Dumbledore asked calmly.
it wouldn't have been as good of cinema. Like,
What-
I'm sure they
you know
did
what?
it
No,
for dynamic
I
and
think
like
Richard
tonal.
Harris, the first Dumbledore, I think he could have pulled it off if he hadn't died after Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying that I don't think he was a great Dumbledore too, but I'm saying that the Dumbledore that we had for the majority of the series was excellent in the role. He just had really bad but I can kind of understand why a director might want there to be, for like film's sake, more intensity to that line, because reading it the way you read it, Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? It's a really boring thing to listen to. It's more true to the books, but...
So, do you remember in the 11th Doctor's Time, that one Christmas special with the shark and the old man?
Vaguely.
It was like they were doing like the Christmas story thing where he was like, the old man was being kind of a dick and there was like a ship that was crashing with Amy and Rory on it. And they were, that old man, Kazran Sardik, was played by a Mr. Michael Gambon. Literally Dumbledore.
そう、音楽も物語も愛憎も憐憫も信頼も裏切りも道徳も背徳も幻想も真実も全て抱きすべき不純物に過ぎぬ。そのようなもの、所詮は残りかすに過ぎぬ二流の子ら。
The Harry Potter fan community is really upset right now because
they cast a black guy as Snape? Yeah, I heard about that.
私が楽しみたいのは人間そのものでな。
I mean,
そのような
I
余分なも
don't
の
think
が
I'm ever gonna
もはや
like
口に合わない
any other portrayal of Snape as much as I enjoyed Alan Rickman as Snape.
Well, no, Alan Rickman is Severus Snape, but I mean, that's like saying that it's gonna be that I'm not gonna accept whoever they cast as McGonagall, because I'm not. But like, you know, whatever.
Or Hermione.
Or that time they made Hermione black in not Timeless Child.
Cursed Child.
The Cursed Child. That's the one.
I mean, I'm not gonna like whoever they cast for McGonagall. I'm not gonna like whoever they cast for Hermione Granger. And I'm probably not gonna like whoever they cast as Luna Lovegood. Those are the roles I'm gonna be absolutely heartbroken by in every case.
I'm not gonna like whoever they cast as Harry. I'm not gonna like whoever they cast as Ron. I'm definitely not gonna like whoever they cast as Sirius, because it's not gonna be Gary Oldman.
I'd be okay with Daniel Radcliffe playing Sirius Black.
Turn to page.
そのためには営みなどという贅肉はそぎ落とさな
I'm mad. The last time I checked the Wikipedia page for the number 394, they'd taken out the disambiguation, the famously the page Severus Snape would like you to turn to line.
走馬灯というものがあるだろう。それと同じだ。人間は死の瞬間にのみ価値がある。 生存という助走距離を持って高く飛び、空に届き尊く輝くもの、その瞬きこそが私の望みだ。それがお前の求めた質問の答えだ。お前たちが平穏を糧にするように、この身は星の光を食べて生きている。
Seeing the priest give such a sermon, his arms spread wide, is strange, to say the least. A chill runs down my back, but not from what he said. Seeing him like that, talking about human beings and seeming somehow sacred, is what's giving me chills.
つまりお前は
10年前の火災は悪くなかった。小規模ではあったが、通常ではありえない刺激に満ちていたからな。そう、私が望むものなどその程度だ。あのような地獄にこそ魂の炸裂、人における最高のきらめきがある。それはお前自身も体験したことだ。
I mean, it does sound pretty cool when he puts it like that.
どうだ、無念のまま朽ちる人間の叫びは胸に迫るものがあっただろう。
Bullshit. That day. How could he ever describe the hell of that day like that?
理解してくれた。いびつな形ではあるが、私ほど人間を愛している者はいない。故に、私ほど聖杯にふさわしい人間もいまい。
And you know what? Kira is not even being like facetious here. He's completely genuine. Like, there is nobody on the planet that loves humans as much as he does. The priest smiles, pleased with himself. Is he saying that he thinks all those people dying helplessly was a wonderful, beautiful thing?
そういうことか。
So you know, water just dripped on my foot. I'm not sure from where.
Interesting. I focus on my feet. Every muscle in my legs tenses, ready to break into a sprint.
つまり殺していいんだな、てめえ。
I surge forward as fast as I can. Go, Shiro, go!
If I somehow managed to get a tear from my eye to my foot with how I am laying, that would be remarkable.
I think you accomplished it, frankly. He's a little less than 10 meters away. If I just head straight at him, I can... I throw myself sideways. I want to just kill him. But my instincts kick in, saving me from death. I go tumbling across the ground, scrambling to look up. Oh no, it's a carpet! I glance back at where I'd just been running. The ground is on fire. The dark mud spreading over the lake is steaming.
Like mud
It's
does.
like a dark carpet.
Sure, Shiro.
Steaming like carpet does.
Steaming like carpet. And moving across the top of water like mud.
The mud coils and lunges at me, snapping like a whip. It leaves a searing welt on the ground, as carpet does.
すでにお前は私の射程に入って動き回るのは勝手だが、不用意に
Gah! I leap out of the way of the black mud as it strikes at me once again. To hell with darting around blindly. This bastard's intent on killing me.
この衛星新聞
I reposition myself, keeping an eye on the lake. I'm no closer to Kodamine. Looks like he's gonna keep me 10 meters away. That muddy tentacle seems to be able to stretch endlessly, which is why it attacked me when I was at home. It follows no matter how far I retreat, and it's not the only one.
こうやる気か。それは喜ばしい。このまま立ち去るのなら殺しようがなかったが、お前本人が争うのであれば問題はない。何しろこれでも神に仕える身だ。助けを求める者を殺めるわけにもいかなくてな。
よく言う。人を背中から襲った奴がな、そんな言葉を吐くんじゃない。
He's probably remembering what happened with Lancer when I say that. Kodamine laughs as if impressed.
そうだ。お前にはあれで愛想が尽きていた。これ以上先延ばしにする必要はない。正直に言うとな、エビヤシオ。私はお前に期待していたのだ。リンがお前を教会に導いたよ。運命すら感じた。 お前があの男の息子と分かり、内面まで似通っていると知った時の喜びなど分かるまい。10年前に叶わなかった望み。エミヤキリツグという男に、こうしてもう一度引導を渡せるとは、思わなかった。
The tentacle twists toward me. It looms over the lake, its sickle-shaped head like a dark serpent. I bite my lip. I'm in about the worst possible situation here. More and more tentacles emerge from the lake. I'm not sure how much longer I can even survive, to say nothing of getting near Kodamine.
勝機がないのは当然だ。お前の生きた年数と私の生きた年数では大きく開きがある。何かで掛け算でもしない限り埋められる差ではあるまい。
Good thing I've been keeping all of these 5-star blazes in my pocket! The priest raises his hands. He stares at the heavens like a conductor, leading an orchestra.
命をかけろ。あるいはこの身に届くかもしれん。
The serpents surge forward. Anyway, never mind that. We have something cool to go deal with. Like this over here. Sparks fly in all directions. The Golden Knight steps back, evading a series of savage attacks executed with astonishing skill. She must have seen it as an opening. Saber twists away from the short sword fired at her and takes a step toward her enemy. Her shout tears through space. Her sword strikes like a comet. She presses the attack on the Golden Knight. He stumbles backward, overwhelmed by her skill in Pharaoh City. Her sword dances. So titanic is the strength behind her every blow. Each could shatter boulders, smash down the walls, or even the most impregnable fortress, or sink a boat, and yet... The myriad deadly weapons appearing from behind her enemy turn aside every strike. Gilgamesh steps back from the onslaught, another sword in his hand. It's easy enough for her to repel his strikes, but she can't meet his attacks directly. Each of the enemy's weapons has abilities she simply doesn't know. Being struck by a weapon and not knowing what it might do is suicide. Saber steps away from her cornered enemy to compose herself. Gilgamesh, on the other hand, is not at all troubled and picks himself up.
懲りぬ女よ。何度やっても無駄だとわからぬか？
Gilgamesh shows no sign of fatigue. To him, this battle is merely a bit of entertainment. He can't very well be nervous or tired when he knows with perfect certainty that he will win. It's another matter entirely for Saber. She knows that her only shot at victory is now. That her only shot at victory is now. Weird. Before her enemy starts taking this seriously. She needs to defeat Gilgamesh before he can use Ea, or she gonna lose. Even so, even knowing that it may be impossible, she doesn't relent in her onslaught, giving no thought to her own stamina. This isn't the first time she's cornered her enemy, or the second, or the third, or the fourth. But she's never been able to break through his wall of noble phantasms.
まだ続けるのか？主に忠誠を誓うのはいいが、それも限度があろう。今頃あの雑種は琴峰に殺されている。もはや、お前が戦う理由はなかろうよ。
私の主は健在だ。あのようなマスター相手に、四郎が膝を屈するなどありえ
You
ない。
sure about that? You sure that's a fact?
それも時間の問題だ。お前は聖杯を知らぬ。あれの相手は俺でも手こずるのだぞ。お前ならいざ知らず、あのような小僧が1分と持つものか。お前は俺には勝てぬし、あやつでは琴峰に勝てん。配役を誤ったな。お前が聖杯に挑んでいれば、この戦いはお前の勝利だったろうに。
There's no amusement in the Golden Knight's eyes. He's serious. But that's wrong. To Saber, the choice itself was a mistake.
まさか。これが正しい選択だ。私は貴様になど負けぬし、四郎はあのような死者には負けない。まだ出てもいない結果を期待するとは、英雄王の名も地に落ちたというものだ。
ほう。減らず口を言うだけの体力は残っていたか。
The air around Gilgamesh twists and distorts. More and more noble phantasms appear behind him.
来るか。
She adjusts her grip on her sacred sword. In truth, there is a way. There's only one way to defeat that Golden Knight.
だがそれには。
For her to plan to succeed, certain conditions must be met. Even if she takes out Ea, he'll still be able to defend against her attack if he has any energy left. She'd also have to take Ea's attack head on again to be sure whether it's even possible to defeat.
エアを受ける。まさか。いかに鞘が戻ろうと、あれを受けては立ち上がれない。
But there's no other way to win. It's just a matter of how to spin that thin thread of hope into real victory. Normally, her intuition would show her the best route, and she would act in accordance with what she sees. But that intuition is no help now. Perhaps her chances for victory are so slim that her intuition can't show her the path. Oh yeah, Saber has precog, so that's fun. But she still has to fight. She has to keep fighting for Shiro, who surrendered his own defense by returning the sheath to her. She cannot let this man defeat her.
そうか。 どうやら決定的な敗北でなければ納得がいかぬと見
Well, if
え
you're
る
going to confront her with absolute defeat, you should probably get Aya. Even more weapons appear. Every single one aims towards Saber, because who the fuck else would they aim at? Moving without Gilgamesh even touching them. Suddenly, two of them aim in a completely different direction as Gilgamesh targets a dog at the bottom of the hill for some unknown reason. Before, only the hilts were visible, but now the blades emerge, awaiting their master's command. This is the way knights should fight, with sword bazookas. Gilgamesh was never a swordsman. His many noble phantasms are deployed within time and space, and become bullets under their master's command. This is why he's an archer. He's the strongest in that regard.
うまく避けろなーに運が良ければ手足を串刺す程度であろう
With a single command, a rain of swords descends on her with godlike speed. Each of them possesses its own special, fatal power. She evades every single one as if gracefully slipping through falling leaves. A sword from the front. A spear from the left. Pole arms from above and below. A three-pronged sword sweeping at her in an arc. A hammer, larger even than her, streaks towards her like a meteor. She blocks, parries, dodges, then twists away from the final attack. Saber's breathing is labored, and she struggles to regain her ground after being put on the back foot. At that moment, she sees something behind her enemy. Behind Gilgamesh. 47 noble phantasms are already deployed, all at the ready. She leaps with all her might. As if to prevent her from escaping, a flurry of noble phantasms races toward her, tearing up the earth. A torrent of noble phantasms slams into the ground, one after another. Her armor is shattered, her gauntlet is split open, and even her greaves are impaled. Saber manages to avoid sustaining any fatal wounds, but in that moment she sees something even worse. Beyond the rain of noble phantasms, as if to finish off his exhausted prey, the King of Heroes draws his favorite sword. Saber lets gravity carry her back to the ground. She lands hard and immediately pours magical energy into her sword. But she isn't sure she can make it in time. The wind howls, the blade of light emerges, and she raises her sword without waiting for the wind to finish unraveling. She doesn't bother deflecting the rain of noble phantasms. She simply swings her sacred sword with all her might and all the swiftness she can muster. She's too late. Gills sweeps his other noble phantasms aside and swings Aya. Meanwhile, back with Shiro. I try to kick away the mud clinging to my ankles. My clothes are burnt, my skin's exposed. I jump away from the lunging tentacle. I can't feel my mud-coated right ankle, and I wasn't entirely sure I even still had my right leg until I used it to leap away. It's not going tremendously different from the time we died so far.
No, not particularly.
I check my body while I roll. Ankle? Okay, yep, still there. Just can't feel it. It's more or less intact. I could still probably run. I jump in another direction to avoid the mud's relentless attacks. Beside me, I hear a splash. The scent of burning earth wakes my dizzy head, and I push myself back up to my feet. A burning sensation sears its way down my back. I shake it off and jump to the closest clear ground. The mud's pursuit relents. I can no longer see any of the black mud that surrounded me. I bite my lip. I dodged and ran all over the place, but in the end, I'm right back here. I calm my breathing and look up at him to at least show he hasn't broken my spirit. Kodamine hasn't moved at all. He's just watched me running around. No matter how many deep breaths I take, my heart won't stop pounding. It's warning me that it's at its limit. It needs rest. My heart is ready to burst if I don't rest. That's how rapidly it's thumping, but it's all just jumping out of my mouth at this point. Block! Goodbye, heart. I can't do anything. I can't get near Kodamine, and I can't stop the black mud. There's not enough time for me to hold him back using projection. If there's no way forward, I just have to project Saber Sword again. Should be able to cut through that black mud and give me a chance to rush Kodamine.
なんだそれで終わりか
The moment
諦
he
めたのなら
speaks,
そうと言え
a tidal wave of mud crashes over me. I look up just in time to dodge. The mud itself isn't bad. It's slow compared to Saber's strikes when we sparred, and it doesn't change direction, so it's easy to dodge. But that only applies when there's just one tentacle. I can't handle multiple attacks at once, or those that strike from behind as soon as I've dodged another. As a result, I can only move around, and still, mud slowly covers me. There's no time to rest. I'm not going to be able to use my projection. Projection requires me to focus and form an image of a weapon from the very beginning, so I need at least a full minute of concentration. But if I give Kodamine an opening like that, the only thing left of me will be smoking bones. Everywhere the mud touches me, I go numb. At least it's not painful, but if that mud covers my entire body, I might not even know whether I'm dead or alive, and if that happens, I'm a goner. I'd melt away, bones and all. I can only run. I know it's only a matter of time until I run out of steam, but I have to keep running for now. I have no chance of reaching Kodamine while all I'm doing is avoiding the mud. The mud pours like a waterfall behind him, so trying that way isn't an option either. If I'm gonna have any chance of getting near him, I have to do something about this mud. And then I trip. Yep. Kodamine stares down at me as if I were a piece of trash. Points a finger at me and laughs, and several snake heads rear up from the lake. Get up. I try to get up, but I fall again. And We fall, and we fall. Snakes come after us. And we fall. And then we ask why a bunch of times. Yep, black mud splashes over the back of my neck. Why, but not in black this time? Now that I look closer, my right leg is entirely black. Anyway, back to Saber and Gil.
そこまで
Oh
か。
no, not quite.
少しは楽しめると期待したが、所詮は桐継の息子。つくづく駅にならぬ連中だ。
I look up. I'm still conscious. My wrists and neck are bound in chains of mud, but I can still feel my body.
なんでとどめを刺さない。
無論、すぐ終わらせるとも。だがそれでは芸がなかろう。お前は桐継の贋作だからな。奴に受けた10年前の負債は、お前の死で返してもらう。
My skin burns where the mud touches it. It feels like acid is seeping from my pores. I grit my teeth, trying to endure the pain and check my right leg. It's completely black. I can't feel it and it won't move. I need to either get this mud out of me or pour magical energy through the affected areas to push out the coagulated blood. Either way, the moment I try to move my right leg, I'll probably tear off every muscle in it.
そうかよ。そりゃ構わないが、お前なんだってそこまで桐継を目の敵にするんだ。桐継に聖杯を壊されたことがよっぽど悔しかったのか。
何？近親憎悪というやつだ。私と桐継は似ていたからな。奴の行為は全てが勘に触ったよ。
ふざけるな。桐継とお前が似ているなんて間違っても。なる
ほど。お前にとってはそうだ。何しろ奴は私を見逃すほどの善人だったからな。
As I understand it, he didn't exactly let you go.
あの大火災を引き起こした私を倒しただけだ。命までは取らなかった。それが間違いだったことをお前は知っているはずだ。
He shot you in the heart, dude.
桐継さえ私を殺しておけば、あの孤児たちは穏やかな日常を送れたのだろうからな。
I mean, yeah, he left you for dead rather than confirming the kill, but...
反論できまい。だが私にとってもそれは不快な事実だった。私がではない。あれほど冷酷な魔術師だった男が敵を助けたという事実こそが不快だった。
That story again. Saber told me before that Kiritsugu was a first-class mage and he would do anything to accomplish his goals. But then...
だが、奴の過ちはそんなことではない。奴が犯した過ちはな、聖杯を壊しただけでこの戦いが終わったと思い込んだことだ。故に、奴はお前に何も伝えず、聖杯戦争は終わったのだと楽観し、この呪いに侵されたまま人生を終えた。道家といえば道家だな。奴は自身を呪った私を見逃し、その果てに数年足らずで命を落とした。自分はことを成したと、聖杯戦争を終わらせたのだと勘違いの達成。
Hold on. Does that mean Kiritsugu died because of Kotomine? What did that peaceful face he had on the night of his death mean?
そうだ。最後に聞いておこう。桐継の最後はどうだったのだ、エミヤシロ。息子であるお前に後を託し、何やら満足していったわけか。 なんという道家ぶりだ。何一つとしてなせず、息子であるお前に責任を押し付け、さぞ滑稽に消えたのであろうな。
てめえ
I kick at the ground. I force my leg to move, flooding it with magical energy. Muscles tear, but I ignore it as I lunge forward on all fours like a wild animal.
Sleepy Willow is very sleepy.
そうだ。その程度の
Thank
気合
God
が
my
なくて
drive
は
home is
話にな
short.
らん。
I do not expect to be conscious for much longer tonight.
Kuromine holds his hand over the waterfall behind him. I don't know what he's thinking. That cascade of mud is a curse so dense it can be seen. It would be fair to call it a mass of magical energy meant only to destroy people. There's no room to modify it, to change its shape. Anyone who touched that mud will be contaminated by its potent curse, and then dissolve as if the stuff were digesting them, which means the pain and fear felt in those dying moments lingers as magical energy, becoming the next curse to seek out the living. Whoever touches that stuff will die. Any who touch it will die unless they can get the mud out of themselves. Even so, the priest sticks his hand into the waterfall, smiling.
褒美だ。切り継ぐと同じ末路をたどれ。
He fills his hand with darkness. I know instinctively that this will be different from before. A flash of light illuminates the world. The moment I realize it's the light of Saber's noble phantasm,
アンディマユ。
the priest's words plunge the world into darkness. Well, here's my proposition.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna get through the rest of this in 12 minutes. Not a chance in hell. Alright?
Okay.
So we're in for next week anyway. Why don't we call it a little early so you can get home and get to bed? Alright? And next week, without question, we finish this.
Okay.
There's no conceivable way that we don't clear this next week. So that's the plan, right? Next week we're gonna finish the Fate route, and then the week after we'll be jumping into Engage. So for anyone that's played Engaged, for anyone that knows anything about the characters in Engage, if you wanna have us run in a character, go throw it in the Google Forms thing.
And that said, if anyone doesn't have a character that they like, and I'm not telling other people to vote Saline, Inu's favorite character is Yunaka.
I don't have to worry about that. It's not a problem. I've got Gil for that sort of thing. The other thing is, Yunaka's one of the most popular characters in the game.
I don't understand why.
Which is why I asked everybody for 3. Was in case, because I'm only assigning characters to, first person that gets them, right? So, in the event that everybody was like, oh, I'm just going to pick Yunaka, I wanted people to be picking multiple things. Because, I don't know, I'm kind of hoping people are going to pick shit that I'm not expecting, like Lapis or, oh shit, what was the name of the girl on the wolf? The one voiced by Christina V. The hell was her name? Marin or something like that?
Something like that.
I'm kind of hoping people pick stuff like that, characters that Like, I haven't touched. I told people the DLC was fine, too. So, like, maybe somebody picks Madeline or one of the dragon siblings, or...
I just want Saline to go. Whether or not she's my proxy is irrelevant to me.
Well, I mean, things open. You can go submit shit to it. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I will.
And I'm not planning to close it until, like, the day we actually start the damn run anyway, so...
Just not tonight.
Yeah. So, yeah, next week we finish out the Fate route, and then the week after we're into Engage. So, that's the plan. So, until next week.
We'll catch you guys later. Yeah, I am